think the most important thing when I come to a new club is this. When I leave, I hope everyone has good things to say about me. When I come back 10 years later, have still relationship with people inside the club, and it has happened like this in I would say in all the clubs I've been, and I hope I can continue it like this. Yes.
Andoni, let's start by you telling me your name, where you're from, and your coffee order.
My name is Andoni Iraola. I'm from Usurbil, that is a small town next to San Sebastian in the Basque Country. And my coffee order here, especially since I live abroad, now I ask for a flat white always.
Oh, flat white, good choice, that's mine as well. That seems to be very common in football circles, we've noticed. Let's start by talking about football, because that's why you're here. What does football mean to you?
I think football was my hobby, and it has become now a professional thing. You know, I still love the game, but once you become professional and you know, it's not just pure passion, I think it changes a little bit. You know, you see like football like an ideal world when you are out of the game and you would love to work there, and when it becomes your everyday work, it's just a work also.
But you still love it?
Yes, I still love it. Yes.
And what's your earliest memory of playing football?
I think probably my best memories are on the beach in San Sebastian. We used to play there in the school with the school team when, I don't know, we started 5, 6, 7 years old. And you can play every 2 weeks because of the sea. One weekend you cannot play, there is no beach, and the next one there is beach and you can
because
play.
Because of the tides in the sea, wow.
So you have to play there once every 2 weeks, and for us was all the time, the game of the month, you know, every time we could play there and we had to go there, and it's lovely memories, yes.
You talked there about playing on the beach, but can you remember the first proper team that you played for? What was it called?
I started with the school team, let's say. The first like proper team is Antiguoco. It's also a neighborhood team there, not a big club. And then I moved to Athletic Club once I was 16 already. So I didn't grow up thinking I was going to become a football player. It came quite late. I was decent, obviously, I was good, but no, until I wasn't 16, I didn't really realize, okay, this can be a little bit more than just your hobby and maybe you have a chance. So I think it was good, yeah.
Can you remember that moment where you thought,
yes,
I can have a chance?
Yes, I was worried when I had this opportunity. I live more or less 1 hour from Bilbao. I had to move also, and I had to change schools and live alone, let's say, no, in the academy. And I was a little worried, like maybe I don't have the level, no, to play with these guys. And when I arrived there, and I could see, okay, I can survive here, probably. It's bueno, maybe I have a chance, but I think it was quite late. Yes.
Early on in your career, you kind of crossed paths and played with some pretty famous other managers. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, now it's incredible, no? Because when we were 7, 8, 9, no? I played with Mikel Arteta, I played with Xabi Alonso, we are more or less the same age. Playing sometimes against, because I was in a school, they were in other schools when we were playing there in the beach, and then after we played together in a small club also in Antiguoco. And now it's amazing that we see each other in the football pitches, I don't know, almost 40 years later, yes.
Are there any managers in particular that have had a big impact on your career?
Yes, in my case, there is especially Ernesto Valverde, very clear one, because he was the one when I moved there to Athletic Club with 16 in the under 18s. He was the manager. He was also my manager when I was in the second team of Athletic Club. He was the first one who gave me the chance, no, to do my debut, and even after he was my manager when I left the club. I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years later. He came back after managing other clubs, and he has been really influential in my career, and today still is our manager. Athletic Club is my team, and for me has been probably the key figure if we talk about like a manager that has influenced your career, yes.
You've mentioned Valverde, but if I could push you for 3, who else?
3, it's difficult. I've had very good managers, no? A lot of people ask me about Marcelo Bielsa. I feel very lucky to have had him for 2 seasons, someone that watches the game in a different way, and I think it's very useful when you are going to transition to the managerial career. And then I've never had him, but I've always liked when we faced them, Carlo Ancelotti. For someone who has been so brilliant, has won so many things in such big clubs, is very normal. When you speak with him, when you face him, is how everyone talks very well about him, the players, and he's someone that I always had a good feeling with him, yes.
You've managed in a number of different countries during your playing and managerial career, but which one would you say has perhaps had the biggest impact on you as a manager?
I would say probably my year and a half I spent in America.
Really?
Probably not the biggest league, not the best moments of my career, because I was probably already on my decline as a player, but it was the moments where I realized I was going to retire, and I started thinking the game in a different way.
Yeah.
I had also Patrick Vieira as a coach. He showed me a different style of play because he was coming from the City Academy, more positional play. I was used to a different style of play, and probably it was a experience that has helped me a lot after in management. And yes, I feel lucky to have had that experience at the end, yes.
Let's go away from football a little bit and talk about Andoni Iraola as a person. Let's go back to the very beginning as well. What was it like growing up at home? Talk to me about your family and the environment you were in.
I used to go to school always on the train. Since I was 10, 11 years old, I used to go alone. There I took the train every morning and go to San Sebastian to the school. And after the school, normally I had to take a bus also to go to the training place. And after I finished the training is when my father normally came to take me, and both of my parents were working. They have been working always. And yes, I've been used also to move myself, and since I was quite young, and I think it has been good also for my independence. You know, even when I moved, I was 16, I had to go to a new place, kind of living alone, and it's not the easiest thing, but I think it has been good for me.
Did you have any brothers or sisters or anyone else at home?
Yes.
Oh, so you were an only child. Who were you playing football with at home then, or was it just out on the beach?
Just on the beach, just with the. You know what happens in Spain? When you have a school, you have your morning, you have your lunch, and then you have 2 hours that is free. Some people go back home, and then they come from the afternoon evening classes. So it's like 2 halves of the day. And then in between, I used to play football all the time. It's 2 hours, and I stay there because I couldn't go back home, so I stay there playing football, and yes, good moments.
You mentioned there that football has obviously been a massive part of your life forever, but finish this sentence for me. If I hadn't been a professional footballer or a manager, I would have been...
I started 2 careers. I haven't finished any. I had to leave them both. I started engineering, too ambitious because I was already playing football. I moved to law. I've done more than half of the career, but I didn't finish it also. But I didn't really enjoy any of them.
Tell me how you escape from football. When you're not here, when you're not thinking about it, how do you get away from it all?
For me, it's quite easy because I have my wife and 2 kids, and they are not much into football. And you will be surprised that once I leave this work environment, I go home, and sometimes we don't speak anything about football all the day.
Is that good for you?
It's very good for me, and even the off day, they have the plans for me. You know, with the kids, we have to go somewhere, or even if the kids have a school, we have to go to eat in this restaurant or to buy something that place, because my wife is kind of waiting for my off day, and everything is set normally, and the plans are already done, yes.
I read that they've travelled around with you wherever you've been, because of course you've been in different countries. Is that why it's so important for you to have them with you?
Yes, my family for me is very important. I think they are sacrificing a lot, because at the end I'm living my dream, let's say, of going from country to country to the best clubs. I have the opportunity to go, and they have to come with me. I have very clear that I couldn't do this without them. If they tell me one day, no, I want to go back home, I'm leaving. It doesn't matter where I am, it doesn't matter, and we will go back home, and I know that there will be a moment in my career that I will have to be like not the protagonist, and probably when my kids are older and they want to have their own,
you won't be the boss anymore.
I won't be the boss anymore, and I would be happy, and we will go back home, and I will be like, yes, like behind, like a supporting team behind, and I know that this moment will arrive.
Okay, so say there was one day where your wife didn't plan anything for you.
Yes.
On your day off, what would you do for yourself?
I live in a place, Bournemouth is for nature, for walks, is one of the best places probably of the country, no?
I read that you are big into reading.
Yeah, I'm big.
Is that still a way you escape?
Yes, for me, reading is a big help, because you forgot a little bit about everything else that is happening around you, no? You are into the book, and whatever you read, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. Normally, if you are at the end of the books, you go on a longer read. At the beginning, normally the books are a little bit more difficult, but it's something that has helped me, I think, even from the mental side. I think I use the reading and I use the bike. Sometimes when I am too...
Not at the same time.
I need... No, yeah, but it's the two ways I kind of forget a little bit about the problems that you always have. When you are a manager, there are always problems. And I think my two ways of, yes, forgetting a little bit about the football stuff.
What are you most proud of?
Probably about the good relationship I have right now with all the clubs I've been. As a player, as a manager, I go back now to every of the clubs that I've been, and would be a lovely moment, to see good people. I've been lucky, and I think the most important thing when I come to a new club is this. When I leave, I hope everyone has good things to say about me. When I come back 10 years later, have still relationship with people inside the club, and it has happened like this I would say, in all the clubs I've been, and I hope I can continue it like this, yes.
So you want to be known as a good manager, but a good person first? A good
person, yes, because you are not going to be successful every time, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not going to work, but even in places that it's not going to work, I hope, I live like good relationships.
Tell me one thing about yourself that will surprise me.
This is the most difficult one, I think, because for me, I do quite normal things. People get surprised how I go on holidays, for example. Every time I go on holidays, we go we rent a car, and we go knowing the city, and sometimes we don't have a hotel at night, so we go like day to day, even with my wife, with the kids, and I enjoy to visit the countries like this, without not a fixed plan, and a little bit more open, and probably is the first thing I would think of.
Yeah, so I guess you like living quite a normal life outside of football, because football can be quite different.
Very, very normal, yes.
If you could only achieve one more thing in your career, Andoni, what would it be?
Football-wise?
Whatever. Go where you want with it. Maybe there's another career that you're still looking at.
I wouldn't go football. I would go probably to the personal life. No, I think especially when you are a father, now your focus is more on your kids. I would love that my kids have a good life. They've been now following me some years, and I hope I can give them a good life, or at least prepare them for life as good as I can. This would be my biggest desire. Yes.
Andoni, thank you so much. That was really insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you.